I'm Mike Murphy from Ears Radio and you're watching LTV2 Millstreet.
Could have heard a pin drop when they walked through the door. Had to turn my eyes away, my heart fell to the floor. Some whispered words of hello. She had an angel's face. He stood there smiling, holding on to the one who took my place. So tonight, the heartaches on me. Let's drink a toast to the fool couldn't see. Bartender, pour the wine, 'cause the hurting's all mine. Tonight, the heartaches on me. I wonder if he's told her she's the best he's ever known. The way he told me every night when we were all alone. So find out when the new wears off, he'll find somebody new to learn what heartache's all about and what I'm going through. So tonight, the heartaches on me. Yeah, let's drink a toast to the fool couldn't see. Bartender, pour the wine, 'cause the hurting's all mine. Tonight, the heartaches on me. But tonight, the heartaches on me. Yeah, let's drink a toast to the fool couldn't see. Bartender, pour the wine, 'cause the hurting's all mine. Tonight, the heartaches on me. Yes, tonight, the heartaches on me.
And the wonderful sound there of C.C. Cooper and
Tonight the heartache's on me.
Heartache?
Yeah.
No,
No
heartache.
way, no way,
Take
no
heartache,
way.
look at this. Look,
No heartaches here.
Oh
Come
my
on,
goodness.
show this, where's the
At the
camera?
Echo last
Look at this on the Echo.
Saturday.
Oh, they're going
Our Sean with his new car. Do you see
Well-
the lovely number plate?
Sean, I must
11
say,
Sean.
LTV2, you overwhelmed me with your professionalism. And
You're trained
I
as
was-
well.
I acquired, believe it or not, the actual number plate itself.
Oh.
But I have to
11C,
give it
Sean.
back on the day of the official handover. So 11C and
Shawnee.
a name.
11C Shawnee. You know,
So there we
right,
are.
isn't it?
So we'll
Are you
have
trying to wear out the last car that you have in the new one on the road? You had several people last
Everybody
week.
wants
When are you
to know.
getting a
What
new
is-
car?
well, the transfer takes a while.
Don't
It
we
takes
know?
just a little
Don't
while.
we
The
know?
length of a phone
Is that
call.
a hand-
Transfer
You
insurance, you'd have
you-
it done in 2 minutes.
Pardon?
You transfer insurance in 2 minutes.
Right, Charles. I'm getting
But do you
advice.
get the car? The car of your
Yeah,
choice, the
it
colour?
was overwhelming.
What have you there? Is that a
absolutely.
hand grenade or
amazing.
something?
No. This actually
A
is
hand grenade?
A hand
a digital
grenade.
recorder. And believe it or not, I was able to record the voice of Pat Monahan from Las
That's
Vegas, USA. Yesterday, on Sunday evening, Pat rang me.
And for the sake of those people who don't know Pat Monaghan, his dad was a guard here in Millstreet years ago, and
Guard
Pat was an
Monaghan.
only son, and he has a great affinity with Millstreet all the time, always contacting Sean.
Yes, indeed. His dear parents, they were lovely
Lovely people.
And Pat is still a super musician. And he said he had been watching the programme on the
LTV
internet,
on the-
and again, of course, the man on camera
Thanks
at
to
the moment
Bernard.
is
Thanks
the
to
one and
Bernard.
only Bernard. Bernard
Hello to
Crowley.
everyone
On
all over.
YouTube, no, all over the world.
I'm sure saying hello to everyone all over the world.
All over the world, hello.
Globally. And of course, we mustn't forget it's programme 182. Sean,
182, yeah. Just a technical printing error last week.
I think I made a little error last week too, did I, Sean?
Oh, you did, yeah. They all want to know who are the cotton mill boys.
Oh, they were there in my day.
All right.
Don't blame me, no, they were there one time. But yours are the thrashing mill boys.
Yeah, that's the
See
big,
now if I get it
the
right
big
this week.
family day out in Carrigan on
I
well,
think they're
St.
going to
Patrick
come
is going to be a few days late coming to Carrigan. It's on the Sunday, and the Trashing Mill boys are playing there.
The
Very
thrashing
good
mill
indeed.
boys.
And
Just
of
check
course,
my notes now and see that I get it
editing
right.
our programme this evening is the famous William
So
Fitzgerald.
lots of music
And
this
William
week.
has brought a very special guest to our studio this evening. And the clue is internet radio. So you're going to meet a special global gentleman.
A star. The
Who?
star of what you call internet
Yes,
radio.
and we'll give his initials. MM.
MM.
MM. So it's coming up. MM.
They're sweet
So
things.
anyway,
Well, you're not getting MMs. This is a man this
right,
week.
shall we go back to
Come
our
on,
footage?
come on.
So anyway, Pat Monaghan got on the phone and he said, Sean, hold on 1 minute, let me go right over to my piano. And he went to his piano and Pat, here we go.
Anyone to sing?
I think I recognise it.
That's your signature
I think
tune.
I'll sing a verse for them.
Well, I think later in the programme, William has arranged that another famous person is going to, a really famous
Give us
person.
one line. Give us one line.
You
Go
mean-
on.
Come on.
No.
He's a bit high. He's a bit...
My only sunshine, please don't take my sunshine away. Ba-ba-ba-da-bum. And just hear Pat there. Pat Monaghan, just tell us where that was being played, please.
Oh, Las Vegas, Nevada.
Las
Thank you,
Vegas.
Sean. It's been an honor and a privilege to have you as my friend for many, many years.
My goodness, Pat, thank you so much. This is our international dimension of our programme this week. Pat Monaghan, that's so very, very, very kind of you here on a Sunday evening at 5:15 here in Ireland to project such a wonderful, wonderful gesture. My favourite song, You Are My Sunshine. Pat, thank you so much, and my very best to Olive and all the family in...
Thank you, Sean, but sincerely, it's my pleasure. It's my sincere pleasure.
There we are,
Lovely.
and there was Pat. Wasn't
Yeah.
that incredible?
Yeah.
How small the world has become.
Wonderful,
My
wonderful. And it's only when people, when people come home, I think funerals have their upside as well, and during the week now we had the funeral of the lovely Paddy Deneen,
Indeed.
over 90 years, and his funeral was really more of a celebration of his life, not a grieving situation. But I met his sons anyway, Alan and the other boy. One is in Australia, the other one is in San Francisco, and they just read all about Millstreet every week on the website. So it's lovely to think that we're in touch
Incredible.
with you all.
And talk about coverage this week. My goodness, look at this. Anya
Our new
Collins
TD.
and her family.
Our
My
new
goodness.
TD.
And of course we have coverage also. Brendan was there on camera on Sunday night for the victory parade of Anya right through the town.
the town.
So
That was
we
lovely.
see
So
that in a-
LTV, you're going to get everything sorted now. We have Inda Killy on our side, and we have Anya on our
And we've
side.
Sean
We
Kelly.
get whatever we want.
We've Sean
and we
Kelly.
have Michael Moynihan and Michael Creed. My goodness.
I
gotta walk
met,
over
I
to
met
the
Sean
top.
Kelly in the Clarion on Saturday night.
My goodness.
And I was telling him about your party. He wanted to know how did it go. I was thanking him for sending him the clip. And he wanted to know how it went. And I was telling him up to 700 people came. Oh my goodness, he said, that's wonderful.
Nicely all together.
Oh,
Now,
no.
talking about Enda, I suppose we, seeing that he was a guest for us there, I'm sure we recognise the man in Monday's Cork Examiner.
I think we do.
Examiner. But look at some of the headlines. And the winner, and Enda
Winner in.
is
in the winner.
it's like, do you remember, it's like the Oscars. The Oscars were on Sunday night,
yeah.
and he's getting the Oscar. And another one there says, can he do it? Can he do it? Can he do it?
And this one
and
I
this
thought was
says,
good. Yes, we can. Yes, we can. I thought that was very good.
Very clever. So it's all coverage with End of this week, and again we hugely
It's
appreciate
not a bit like Newsnight now when they look through all the papers.
Yes, indeed. Oh, we're as good as that,
We are.
aren't we?
Well, we'll take up the front of the pages.
we're referring to Monday's coverage in here on Thursday.
Yeah.
But and now talking about coverage,
Oh, you will
Mill
love
Street
it,
Pipe
Pastor.
Band. Tell us
They're
more, Eileen.
celebrating 60 years of unbroken service. Other bands, I think, are on for 60 years, but they come and go. But our band, Pipe Band, is 60 years of unbroken service. And, they're absolutely wonderful at every occasion. Even the parade through the town.
Oh,
They
fantastic.
were at a moment's
What
notice.
I thought was so wonderful, the night of our celebration at Green Glens, they all dressed in their full uniform. And come along, they didn't come down to the celebration in full uniform. That's not easy.
But that was special, that was
Oh,
for you.
my goodness. That was very colourful. And you could see the colour.
Speaking of the pipe band,
Yes.
they're coming to Calgary on the day as well.
Goodness, Sean, you were, I'm sure
You've
Sean,
great
I'm
influence,
using all
haven't
my
you?
angles now.
we'll have a word with Enda. All right. Well, no, we'll have a word with the, I suppose, presidents and everything.
Soon we'll have to say which one of them do we need to speak. We have our TD, we have Inda, and we have Sean Kelly. So we have a
Yes,
whole
we'll have to
choice.
check it through. But anyway, this very special celebration, it's in the Drum Hall Hotel in Killarney on March the 26th. It's a Saturday night, and the music by the wonderful Celt. That's, of course,
And you
Connie
won't get
and
better.
Tom.
You won't get better
And
than Celt.
tickets are €30 and available, of course, from all different members of Mill Street Pipe Band. And,
And as Mary,
Yes.
Mary is in Sandapons at the moment.
all right,
Yeah.
Oh, she's here.
So as
Like
she's
Papa
missing,
Sunbunny.
we have tickets to give away, and there's nothing like doing it at the moment.
How are you going to do it now? How are
No.
you going to find out? Yeah.
what
We're
are
going to
you,
ask a question.
right? No.
What did they give Sean Radley for his celebration?
They know that.
They know that.
That's too easy. 1 second, I will think of something. Who was the first elected TD in North Cork? Female TD.
Yeah.
Okay.
Who was the first
Who was the first
Female
TD
TD elected in the
Northwest.
Cork
Cork
Northwest?
Yeah.
Yes.
So you know the number by now. So send on your text messages.
Well, William will very obligingly place it in front of our screen. Isn't that
See it here, sure.
absolutely? There it is. More work for William.
More work for William.
And Isa. But now, talk about our other great friend from the celebration night.
Yes,
other
indeed.
many friends.
She sang her heart out for you that night.
The wonderful
Lovely.
Anne-Marie O'Riordan. And Anne-Marie is having her CD launch. Again in Killarney, but this time it's in the Killarney Heights Hotel on Friday the 11th of March. And the music that night is going to be supplied by the Michael Collins Band, Liam O'Sullivan, Dermot Lyons, Shalom Cayley Band, Shannos dancer Adrian Moriarty, Anne-Marie, of course, and her band. And the admission is only €10. And of course that's the night of Anne-Marie's wonderful CD launch. And
The Killarney Heights, a change of venue, the Killarney Heights.
And recently, Anne-Marie has been heard not just on local radio, national radio, but on global radio. But you'll hear more about that later. So that's Anne-Marie on that very, very special occasion itself. Now, Sean, any further?
Any further, I suppose the next thing we should do is let Eiley give us the news.
Yes, but in fact, I've one last note.
Sean Radley has one last
One
note.
last note.
You're never finished.
Where did I put my notes? Yeah, one second. Oh, yes.
I was just going to say.
Eileen, while I'm checking my notes.
Your part of the country is getting very famous now, Sean.
Yes.
There is this wonderful, what you call it, triathlon or something.
That's on the country bar. That's the Big Mac. You're mixing them up.
Am I mixing them up?
This is the Monster Mac. This is on.
That's the one.
right.
That's the one.
This is on there. We can talk about that. But there's a
Yeah.
walking festival coming up in April, isn't there?
There is
Yes.
a walking festival coming up the
9th
9th and 10th of April in Mill Street. And
All focus on walking. And in fact, Monster Mac, there was a wonderful get-together at the Wallace Arms there last Saturday, and we got full details of that. and we actually interviewed the main people involved. That's Mary, Hilary and Paul, and Hannah Lee, also very much the local coordinator here. But we'll give more details about that at a later point. But Brendan is often mentioning about different people he meets in Macroom and in Millstreet and Killarney. But in fact, during the week I was passing through Macroom, and these two lovely people called Sean and Delia Kelleher I met. And they know Brendan very well, and from Macroom, so a very special hello to Sean and Delia Kelleher. And we must very much compliment Danjo Kelleher on his excellent coverage of the election, the recent election. My goodness.
There was a lot of work on that, and
Huge.
he did a great job. Yeah.
And Brendan O'Brien was coordinating on the presentation of it. But Danjo arranged to actually record all 9 candidates. Yep. But not only that, and it's the actual count was also shown, I believe, on Sunday night. Now I missed it, but so we must get to see that at a later point. So I think really it's time for your news.
I have, but you know most of it anyway, so I'll tell the people on that.
Did I win anything in the
No,
Lotto this
you
week?
did not win anything in the Lotto. It was big. We were waiting until it get big enough for you.
Big enough for me,
Of course, later in our programme, William is going to give us some marvellous inputs. We can definitely expect some beautiful music, and I know that we'll be going to Wheeling also. We'll be going to Wheeling. But at this point, Eilidh, it's Eilidh's regional news.
Dear William Galera and welcome to LTV2 News. Here are the results of this week's Parish Lotto draw, which was held at the Clarion on Sunday night. Numbers drawn were 4, 6, 11 and 15, and the jackpot was not won. €100 went to Susan Halen of Boherbue. The seller was Margaret Murphy, and she got €50 seller's prize. €50 went to Gillian O'Sullivan, Dooneen. 20 each to Sheila Barrett O'Ban, Davy Tarrant of Tarrant's Bar, Colin Milan, care of Super Value, the Tarrant family of Liscray, Brendan and Liz Hickey of Balnagree, Orla Kiley, Liscahan, Mary Gahan, Minor, Dennis Murphy, Tlahurabig, and the jackpot for next week is 7,400, and the draw will be at the Wallace Arms Hotel on Sunday night. The AGM of the Lotto Committee will be held at the Wallace Arms Hotel on Friday, March the 18th at 7 o'clock. Millstreet is rocking with celebrations again this week, with our own local fair-haired beauty Anna Collins being comfortably elected to Dáil Éireann on behalf of Fine Gael. And in doing so, she made history by being the First Lady TD in this area since the foundation of the state. It has been a weekend of whirlwind celebrations, including a victory parade through the town on Sunday evening led by our pipe band. So it only remains for me to congratulate Anna and her team and to wish her every success as she takes her place in Dáil Éireann. And I have to say a word about the well done to the County Council workers who cleaned up the town after March Fair and had it all looking spick and span for Anna's parade. We have still more to celebrate. Our pipe band are about to celebrate 60 years of unbroken service. A gala event will be held at the Drumhall Hotel on Saturday, March the 26th, with music by the ever-popular Celt. Tickets at €30 each can be had from any band member. All those who intend taking part on the St. Patrick's Day Parade at 5 p.m. on the 17th of March in Millstreet, please give your particulars to any committee member or into the Wallace Arms Hotel. Out in Carriganua, they will host the St. Patrick's Day Parade on Sunday, March the 20th, with music will be provided by the ever-popular Threshing Mill Boys. Those intending to take part in this parade, please give your particulars in to Shawnee or Matt at the pub. On April the 24th, which is Easter Sunday, the Millstreet Vintage Club will hold a repeat of last year's highly successful Monster Vintage Rally and Fun Day at the Green Glens Arena. Proceeds this year will be divided between our community hospital and the Canon O'Donovan Centre. Irish Heart Foundation Churchgate collection will be taken up this weekend, March the 5th and 6th. Poetry course continues at the Pastoral Centre on next Saturday the 5th of March from 2:30 until 4:30, and all are welcome. Please ring Iardido Hollow for full information about a meeting which will be held at the James O'Keefe Institute on Thursday the 10th of May, which is aimed at helping communities at all levels and people of all ages. The number there, as always, is 029 606 33. The Drumtara Fall Committee, who have completely refurbished their building, are hosting a fundraising comedy concert with the ever-popular Packy O'Callaghan and Frank Toomey, entitled Life After Santa Ponza, on Saturday the 5th of March. Please support it well. A cake sale will be held at our pastoral centre after 6:30 Vigil Mass on Saturday the 5th of March. Proceeds will go to the 50 girls who are going as helpers to Lourdes with IHCPT. Millstreet will celebrate a World Book Night at our local library on Saturday, March the 5th at 7 o'clock, and all are welcome. The weekly weigh-in continues in Cullen every Monday night in aid of their Special Needs Association, and there's still time for you to join. Still with Cullen, their pipe band are holding a fundraising cake sale after their 10:15 Mass on Sunday the 13th of March, and their band will play on the day. 30th birthday party coming up at the Clarion on Saturday the 12th of March for the Kelleher twins, John and Dennis of Oban. On that night, Dennis will have his head shaved in aid of charity. A note here from our Cannon Centre to say that they will deliver hot meals, and for details you can ring them at 029 70926. Our Citizens Advice Information Centre and Adult Learning Centre will be open in our main street on Friday the 3rd of March from 10:30 until 12:30. August will record, and now we'll go back to the rest of the programme.
And if there was one song, I'm apparently on X Factor, I've been famous for the Gaina Comoric and the Music Man, but I have added to the repertoire tonight, and I've even come along and I brought an orchestra. So here we go. One final little verse, because this is very appropriate here tonight, and we go. All right. You are my sunshine, my only sunshine. You make me happy when skies are grey. You never know, dear, how much I love you. Please don't take my sunshine away. You are my sunshine, my only sunshine. You make me happy when skies are grey. You never know, dear, how much I love you. Please don't take my sunshine away.
The other night, dear, as I lay asleep, I dreamt that you were by my side. But when I woke, dear, I was mistaken, and I hung my head and cried. You are my sunshine, my double woodbine, my box of matches and the old cigar, my bottle of whiskey that makes me risky. Please don't take my sunshine away, but I'll always love you and make you happy. If you don't say the same, but if you leave me for another, I regret it. Let's hear yours sing. You are my
sunshine, my only sunshine. You make me happy when skies are... My sunshine, my only sunshine. You make me happy when skies are grey. You never know, dear, how much I love you. Please don't take my sunshine away.
Oh, please don't take my sunshine away. Thank you, and a safe journey home. Thank you.
Well, welcome back again, folks. Well, Sean Radley and Big Tom there. Big Tom was the fellow with the guitar and Sean Radley was the fellow without the guitar there, singing You Are My Sunshine.
He'll take off this.
Oh, he will, yeah. There's a place for him.
Huh?
There's a place for him there.
Oh, I'd say so. He'll take off this.
Well, are you alright after the election?
Well, just about there, like. You know,
You didn't stand or anything?
No, not. There was enough standing. And there's a lot of them sitting down now.
What's the smallest vote that you came across?
I think there's something in Dublin, get 28 votes or something like that.
Yeah, that's 24, I think.
Yeah, something like that, yeah. That's fairly low, and he hadn't too many friends in them.
No, he must say maybe he didn't vote for himself at all.
He hadn't many more voting for them.
But how do you think this two in the bed you were?
You know about the half loaf of bread, really? You can cut it small or cut it big, but it's still only half loaf. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
What can they do about them?
So that
the gang were there before.
They're dealing in a half a loaf.
Yeah.
And then they have the...
You know, the doctor said about the difference between aspirin and dispirin.
What did he say?
That's right, he said. That's the same with you.
So, and the elephant in the room, of course, is there as well. The bank.
That's the thing, right?
Yeah.
So, listen.
You were at the fair anyway?
At the fair. A lot of horses at the fair. And a good buyer came in and took about 40 horses first one in the morning.
And
you told me you couldn't get rid of horses.
I did, yeah.
You told me the factory wouldn't even take it.
Yes. Were they factory horses or were they...
I can't say it, but this man came in and bought about 40 horses. He went off for 2 loads of horses with half of it.
Did he pay for them?
No, there's no fella, you get nothing for nothing, boy.
So it'd been a bad day to be buying a horse.
Well, there we are now, see. That's it, like.
Did you learn anything else? Did you see anything?
No. But I met a man from Kilnamatra,
yeah.
Sean O'Connell, and he tells me he's into birds in a big way, and that the wrens are cleared out after the COVID.
The wrens?
Yeah, you know the small fella. The wren, the king of all birds.
You might be right, actually. I haven't seen any wrens, and I normally have a few wrens hanging around.
Yeah, well, he says anyway.
I'll be in the watch out. I'll let you know next week.
Keep an eye out. I have one wren in there.
But you were he probably was inside in the hot press.
I see him, he's around anyway.
Yeah.
The cold didn't get him anyway.
Yeah.
So that's that, like.
So, tonight we're looking at
the you know the Boeing swim.
Yeah.
That was sponsored. Everyone that went into the water was sponsored and made big money. 4,318 euro.
4,000?
4,000, yeah. 4,318 euro. So on last Monday night week actually, Sean Reddy and myself went to Terence Bar to see the handy over the check from the committee to the Alzheimer's Society. So right, here we go.
Well, it's the 21st of February 2011 and we're here in the very welcoming and super setting of Terence Bridge Bar here in Millstreet town. And we're here for a very special and happy occasion because, well, we're going to let Margaret Green tell us more about it. Margaret, why are we here?
No, Shawnee, today we are handing over the monies raised to the Alzheimer's Association of Co.Cork. That we jumped into Blackwater on New Year's Day at the Boeing. 18 plus swimmers jumped in this year over 2 days because there was a wedding on New Year's Eve, so there was over 2 days this time. There was 4 swimmers on the 31st of December and then I think 18 on the day. that braved the river.
Yes, and a bit chilly it was.
A bit chilly, but not as chilly as the week before that.
Exactly. And of course, we mustn't forget a very special reason for the why it was happening this year.
And this year we picked a very good cause, and it was the Co.Cork Alzheimer's Society that helps an awful lot of people and carers in the area, and they give them the support. And they have a lovely centre, St Mary's in Mallow, available for the clients to go down on different as planned occasions, and the facilities down there are excellent.
Tremendous.
Open home facilities.
Great. And Margaret, thank you so much. And my goodness, look at the amount of that cheque, held by two of the three major sponsors, being held there by Tommy Burke, the famous sportsman supreme, and also being held by Stephen Tarrant, the proprietor of this most beautiful, beautiful setting, and his beautiful wife right behind the bar here. So, €4,132. My goodness. Right over here to Marie. And Marie, my goodness. Marie representing the Alzheimer's Society. What does this mean to yourselves, a contribution like this?
So first of all, I'd like to say a very heartfelt thank you, because €4,000 is a fantastic, a tremendous amount of money to have raised. It means the continuation of services in North Cork, be that respite beds, daycare services or home care services.
Tremendous, altogether. And all this wonderful work, it has a direct link with the area here?
Yes, myself, I cover North Cork. I coordinate the home care in North Cork. Our day centre in Mallow then would have a bus transfer service which covers all of North Cork. We go out to Rockchapel, down as far as Connaughton on the further side, over towards East Cork direction. And we also have 2 respite beds based in North Cork for clients with a diagnosis of dementia in North Cork.
Tremendous. And I think one of the most valuable contributions of this very, very special event was that it was an awareness of the Alzheimer's Society.
Indeed it was, and it's actually corresponding quite well time-wise, because there is a media coverage at the moment promoting an increased awareness of dementia and encouraging people as well that if they have worries about memory to go and get a diagnosis, because early diagnosis is paramount.
Absolutely. Tremendous altogether. Marie, thank you so much. And a word from our sponsors over here. This sounds so commercial. A word now from our sponsors. Tommy, being involved with this most amazing event, please tell us what it means to SuperValu.
Well, on behalf of SuperValu, I am very pleased that we're involved in the sponsorship. We all know people who are suffering from this disease, and it's no longer an old person's disease. As we've seen in the recent year, younger people are also affected by it. And I think that it's good that the company is getting involved. We're very, very pleased. And we're very, very thankful to be able to do this, especially with the youth organisation, because Eileen worked with us for a long time, and when Eileen left our employment to go and take up this situation, we knew she was going to be a success, and we're delighted to be involved.
Great. Well, thanks very much, the very famous Tommy Burke there. And coming over to Stephen, and by the way, Stephen, we feel so very much at home here in the setting here. We could stay here all night.
hopefully. No, you're more than welcome. As I say, the committee asked for Terence Bar and the Bush Bar to get involved, and
yes.
We were only too delighted to do it. And as I say, it's a big amount of money, and they were telling me this is, I think, their 3rd year at it, and it's growing and growing. And next year, which won't be long coming in, we hope to have as much more, and we will definitely be involved again anyway. So, and it was a fun day out.
Yeah,
bit
indeed.
cold, like, but a fun day out.
I was just about to say to Stephen here, when you went in at that particular point, and all these young men right behind you here all went in, and my goodness, it was a very cold experience, but yet you zoomed out without any effort at all. What was it like on the day?
It was good, a bit anxious to get in, but when you hit the water, like...
Bit anxious to get out.
More anxious to get out. My toes were cold for about 3 or 4 days after, but it was very good and well organised, and
Yeah. Tremendously so.
Yeah, it was.
And Eileen, I remember there was a famous T-shirt.
Yes, indeed, and we all forgot to bring it tonight.
We love what it says on it.
Yes, I survived the Boeing swim. And on behalf of all the committee, I would very much like to thank our sponsors, Humphrey Key, Stephen Tarrant and Cooper.Millstreet, because without them we wouldn't be able to grow so much, because it is voluntary. We do everything voluntary. We don't have any money to start with. So they have given us great help by sponsoring the t-shirts, sponsoring the little hot drinks. When it's so cold out there, it's brilliant. And it's great to, when a whole community gets involved.
Yes.
And in fairness, the whole community is getting involved.
Yes. So and it's also now becoming an annual event. And we can envisage that it's wonderful to think that many organisations, very worthy organisations, are benefiting in such a wonderful manner. So perhaps next year you're thinking of even a different organisation?
Well, it will be a different organisation every year, but we will keep bringing it back into the community so that there's a community base for it, because we do most of our collection within the community.
Tremendous.
So anything we will do it for in the future, it will always be community base at some angle of it.
Well, I'll tell you, after arriving in time, and here we are, I survived the Boeing swim, 1st of January 2011. And look at all these amazing people that did survive the Boeing swim in a month. And have we any other mention from anyone that wants to make a comment on the 1st of January 2011? Anyone like to say?
I'd just like to say we would ask now, would people consider coming up to do the swimming for next 1st of January.
My goodness.
Because if we start thinking about it now, we might have a chance of getting more people, and the more people we do it, the more money we're going to raise. And we just would appreciate the more people that will join in. And it is a good crack.
Tremendous.
New Year's Day can be kind of boring. This really sets you up.
Well, I tell you that. Well, that's known as advanced planning, and real advanced planning. So, tremendous. Always. Oh yes, and they're the sponsors, right? At the other side here, of course, Super Value, Turns Bar and the Bush Bar, all based here in Millstreet. And again, look at that, for an amount of money going, and Marie is so delighted with this for the Alzheimer's Society of Ireland, the North Cork branch, €4,132.00. That is amazing. And there it is, here from the superb setting here of Turns Bar here, Bridge Bar here in Millstreet. We're about to leave you here. The group here are going to converse more, but we will have to go directly back to the studio. And before we go, there's something to mention.
No, the presentation, the actual presentation.
And their presentation, of course, is about to take place. we nearly forgot the presentation. And now we're about to witness the presentation, and directly after that, directly back to the studio. So now let's watch the presentation. Great. That's wonderful. Oh, that's great. Isn't it tremendous? Oh, that's mighty. Nice. 1 minute now. Lovely. Oh, yes. Yeah.
Margaret,
yeah.
under the tape.
Yeah. We'll have to, yeah, that's great now. That's lovely. Perfect. Oh, that's lovely. That's perfect now. Lovely. That's really superb. Yeah, I'll do one more. There now. Right up this way. And one without flash. Right? Okay. And in accepting it, Marie, you might like to say something in accepting it.
Again, just once again, I'd like to say a heartfelt thank you to everybody that was involved in raiding the elements on the 31st and the 1st of January, and it's definitely going to a good cause, and it's going into our own local community as well. So thank you very, very much.
Thank you very much.
So thank you, Sean. We're everywhere. So we're going to continue on now with a song called Sweet Forget Me Not. And I know you know it, so sing along. And here we go. Take it away, Eamon. Somebody
as you can see, our studio is filling up. We haven't enough chairs even for our wonderful guests here in studio. On camera at the moment is the one and only Sean Murphy, and on computer and on sound is William Fitzgerald. And before we continue, we have to remind people of a particular Churchgate collection coming up. Eilidh.
That's the Heart Foundation Churchgate collection, and that's on the 5th and 6th of March, isn't it? That's this coming weekend.
This is great.
And please support it well, because it's a very worthy cause.
Irish Heart Foundation there, that's great. Well now, with us here in studio we have, of course, our very own Bernard, who has made it possible for people to see in a global manner Millstreet, on millstreet.ie and on Facebook, the whole concept of our full programme. Right, Bernard?
That's right. Second one got up now last week. Programme, it was 180.
Yes.
So
we might even have 181?
That's the plan anyway.
Yeah, it takes a long time and great commitment.
It takes about a full 24-hour period between the downloading and whatever, and to get it up and running.
And assisting there also is Michael Cashman from the website.
That's right, and yourself as well. You actually linked it up there last week as well, and Michael Cashman with you.
So we're linking in there. Now, our very special guest. Well, you must introduce our very special guest. This is the MM.
Here we have Mr. Michael Murphy.
Oh,
Michael, you're welcome.
You're very welcome, Michael. And joined in the rest of the studio, of course, we have Ty Curtin, our youngest member of LTV2 Millstreet, who was out in great force there on last Sunday, recording all different aspects of March Fair, and also recording March Fair last Sunday was Brendan. So we have double recordings on that special day. And we are joined by someone, a lady. Who is that lady?
I think we know her already.
I think she's the grandmother in Wonderloo, I guess.
Oh no, it's not. She is the youngest member of all. Yeah, Eilidh Buckley. But Michael, you're more than welcome.
Mr. Michael Murphy, that's the MM that you were talking about.
Exactly, MM.
And Michael is a DJ based in Mallow and internet radio, and Michael might just tell us a bit about you. You're on so many days a week, is that correct?
I am, and as Sean and Willie know, I'm broadcasting from my own kitchen at home, which is wonderful. I can get up in the morning, sit down at the table, and as we say, let it rip.
And a very welcoming setting and a welcome we got when we were over in your beautiful home. And there was two beautiful little puppies.
Still there, Sean.
They're
still there.
They were introduced to us that morning also.
You were asking how many programs I do. I do Tuesday morning, 9 to 1, Wednesday afternoon, 1 to 5, Thursday morning, 9 to 1, and then whatever crops up in the meantime. I did a total of 14 hours last week.
My goodness, isn't that incredible?
Fierce commitment.
That is tremendous.
And do you have to sit there with it the whole time for that, Mike?
Well, when I start in the morning, Eilidh, I can start and introduce the programme and get it going, and I can put it on autoplay and go in and have my breakfast, and nobody knows what I'm doing.
Tremendous, alter.
Yeah.
And the great thing about this is that not just is when Michael is introducing this from St. Joseph's Road in Mallow itself, it's been heard not just nationally but globally, and this is all happening through internet radio. Now, the very interesting thing, we spoke on our very special dedicated programme when William was on camera down at Michael's home. We spoke that morning about internet radio itself, and you remember we also met another very important DJ from
Tipperary Midwest Radio, Mossy.
And on that particular month. But internet radio, the very interesting thing about this is this. Now, up to now, we were aware of the concept of internet radio, but you always had to be
online,
and you always had to be close to your laptop or your PC. But then they invented an internet radio, which is absolutely fascinating, because it means that once you're on broadband, you can receive not just one, not just 1,000, but tens of thousands of radio stations through internet radio from all over the world. And Michael's radio has a very very name.
Music to make your ears smile.
Music to make your ears smile.
You have to have ears.
And it's fascinating. And when you tune in, and we'll explain more about this because at a later point, but this is incredible, this piece of equipment. Now, people wonder how much it is. Well, it's almost €200 And you might say, for an actual radio, that's a lot of money. But when you consider what it
A
does,
lot of channels in that, I mean, as you say, it's not just 5 or 6 or 10 channels,
Yeah.
it's thousands.
absolutely.
How would you find Mike's programme now on that?
Well,
That's a
it-
stupid question.
That'll take a bit of explaining.
Yeah,
but
very well, no.
we'll have a special
Because she does
dedicated
millions of
program
people.
about this because
Yeah.
it takes a bit of time to explain that. But very interesting thing, you know, some people that mightn't have very clear reception from C103 on their normal radio. On internet radio, it's crystal clear. Absolutely crystal clear.
Of course, there's another thing there that I want to, sorry there Michael for cutting across there, just want to add, even if you don't have an internet radio, you can still use your laptop or your home desk computer as well.
Yeah.
We stayed with Eiley, Margaret and I the night of your presentation, Sean, and let me say that we were honoured
God
to
save
be
us.
there.
Well, thank you
And
for being there.
it has
for
opened
goodness
up
sake.
new friendship for me, and I'm so delighted for that. But it's commitment. I always said it down through the years involved in radio stations. There's two things that are a television station for that matter. There's two things that make it: commitment and communication.
Yeah.
Absolutely vital in anything you do in that line.
Well, I think what's illustrated by the commitment of people like Sean and Cameron and William there on sound there at the moment, and the whole team, Jerry and Brendan, they're observing the overall the scenario at the moment, and all involved. It's the spirit that came through from LTV2. My goodness, it was absolutely totally amazing, and it also, in a broader sense, then it was the community spirit shown on that night in particular that was incredible.
There's something to be proud of.
I think above all it was a community
Yeah, it was
celebration.
a community night, yeah.
Community celebration. So anyway, Michael,
Just to finish, I just want to say one thing to finish, just to thank LTV2 for their exposure of our radio station, and for me, to all of you, thank you very much indeed. I appreciate everything, the exposure you're giving us.
Tremendous.
And Mike sat me down in my own home and he showed me how to assess his programme.
And she didn't log in yet.
Which is all written down stage by stage, so I can log in any time that I will have time.
Well, all we can say, we'll have a lot more communication with Michael here, because Michael, like Ty, has become very much part of the team of LCV.
Yes, indeed.
And it expands further and further. So
before we go,
yes,
I just want to remind people of our quiz again. Sean was on about it there earlier. It's we've 4 tickets here for Life After Santa Panza. I just zoom in there, Sean.
Yes, indeed.
And it's next Saturday night, March the 5th, and it's on in Drumtariff Parish Hall at 8 p.m. next Saturday night.
And do you remember Sean's
question?
Sean's question
What was the question?
The question was, who was the first female TD elected in Cork Northwest constituency? And in the background, William is trying to tell me something there.
Something there that I want to say as well. There was a contribution made to LTV there, a very generous contribution. Brendan Murphy was actually furnishing it there last week. He got a contribution of two very good contributions. I think one was from a person from Kilcorny. Is that right, Brendan?
Yeah.
Brendan, we'll get Brendan here.
Brendan can explain more there.
Brendan, please sit yourself down here. Yeah, sit yourself down there, Brendan.
A person from Kilcorny, and
right.
a person who appointed here around town. So
that's terrific.
Thanks very much.
Thank you.
Tremendous altogether.
Terrific.
And 2 final things very quickly. They were mentioned there already. It's just this walking festival. It's to do Holloway Mushroom or Walking Festival. It's on from it's on to 9th and 10th of April 2011. It was mentioned there already, so I'm just mentioning it again. And just one final thing, it's happening up in Mushroom as well on the 30th of April up near the Millstreet Country Park is this Monster Mac. It's a sort of a triathlon event So that's just two things that are coming up there. They're outdoor events. So just
And that's a very
remind
big
you.
event. There'll be hundreds of people coming for that, and it's apparently that's a very great plug, tourism-wise for Millstreet.
It's very important to kind of promote these things.
Yeah, and of course it's our own tourism group who brought this out now that will be arranging this walking festival in Millstreet.
And in Munster Mac, last week we were wondering what Munster the Mac stood for.
We thought we were going to the shipper.
Exactly, I thought we were talking about McDonald's Big Mac. But nothing to do with it. The Mac stands for Millstreet Adventure Challenge. Millstreet Adventure Challenge, MAC. And the monster part of it, the reason they say monster, that all the other challenges that take place right through the country, they have names that stimulate. And the first name of one of the other ones was called War, the other one was called Roar, and this is called Monster. So that's
why
why
it got its name.
Yeah.
They're very
You have
enthusiastic.
to get your walking wood, Sean.
Oh, we'll have to check it out. Yes, I think.
Just before we finish, Mike has something else to say there about internet radio as well.
Just stay tuned for somebody local coming on board.
Excellent. My goodness.
Somebody we know, Mike?
Yeah.
Very interesting.
Not mentioning any names.
Not mentioning
My
any
goodness,
names.
that
All
would be very
All will be revealed.
Could we even have initials? Not
an email, not another email.
On that note, will we finish up for this week? Is there anything else anybody else has to say?
In fact, before we finish up, we're going to go to Wheeling. We're actually going to go to Wheeling because we talk about going globally, but this time now we're going to go to Wheeling because there's a hugely important event happened there recently, an All-Ireland event, and Bernard is actually going to tell us there's a special team about to be introduced.
That's right, there's the new the junior football team, as you know, Wheeling won the junior All-Ireland this year, so they're, I think, moving up to intermediate as far as I know. So they've now a very, very competitive looking junior team picked for this year, for the new season.
Absolutely.
And they have a very good trainer. And they're a Wheeling team with a difference.
With a really big
and
difference.
as you'll see, they're a really talented looking team.
And to introduce them is the famous Shanachie par excellence, Mr. Jim Barry. And Jim Barry is going to introduce us to a very special team. And they have their own very special physio.
Absolutely.
But you'll see all that later.
So will we say good night?
And do you know who's coming in at the very end?
Oh, I'm sure Mr. Big Tom, as always.
Big Tom.
And we're going to
out the same way we came.
So all the best from everyone here tonight. We'll say Slán Spanish and right over to Wheeling.
Okay, I call in Jim Barry to introduce his team.
Tis great to get a cheer and a clap before we start. For you might get it after. Now, I was listening to a couple of women the other day talking, and you know, you can't please all the people all the time. One of them was saying, well, it's great now we have the intermediate team next year, we can follow the intermediate team, and the other one said, no, she said, sure, we won't have any. Can you hear me down there at the back? No. We won't have any junior team now, she said, I suppose. You know, to have the banter and the crack in New Hollow, like, against all the New Hollow teams. Tullylace and Newmarket, Millstreet, Kilbritton, Bantier and Co.Cork and maybe Drumtariff. But that isn't the way it is in Wheeling, you'll see. Because the Wheeling GA board got together around Christmas and they selected 4-man panel, or selectors, to select a junior team for the coming year. But the 4-man selectors happened to be 3 men and a woman. Dennis Lehan, Ted Linehan, myself and Eileen Kelly. Now, Dennis Lehan and Ted and my looking men. Not their ability to hurl, but surprise, surprise, not alone did Eileen come up with good looking men, but she came up with good hurlers as well. And you'll see for yourself now in a minute what I'm talking about. In goals for the junior team for 2011 for Wheeling to take over from Steve Martin O'Sullivan, who did so well in the goals, and indeed the last day above in Innis, he gave 2 great saves coming on for the end of the game. Give him a big hand. But the man that's taking over for the 2011 junior Wheeling hurling team is Jeremiah Roach. Now, very good. When I was talking to Jeremiah about the taking over the goalie, he said he mightn't have the eye or the turn whether the ball was going right or left into the goals, but he'd do his best. And sure, that's all anyone can do. Now, the full back line, there was always a very good full back line in Wheeling. But the full back line, now we went a small bit outside the bounds. In fact, we went to a different county. We went to Limerick. And we went to a man that would be better known for fishing than hurling. He have fished the rivers and the lakes of Ireland and beyond, and he have trophies to prove it. But he's going to take on the number 2 jersey for Wheeling to replace Mike Forrest. A hard job to do, I'm telling you, but he said he'd chance it anyway. We have Marky O'Shea, number 2. Now the full back line. I met a man the other day and he was telling me about his following Wheeling hurling all his life, he said, up to the present day. And he said they always had a good team from the goalie up to the full forward line. But he being a forward himself, he said he talked about the backs. And he's going back a few years now, he said he played against Wheeling and that's why he picked out one certain full-back. And that man who played full-back for Wheeling was Father Kelleher. And what he said about Father Kelleher was, he said a ball might pass Father Kelleher, or a man might pass Father Kelleher, but he said, never would a man with the ball pass Father Kelleher. So, the man who is going to take over from Dennis Reardon, who cleared some fine balls down all through this year, last year now, and a bit of this year. The man that's going to take over, that is a man that's looking out the window at the pitch every day. But now he'll be out in the field, George Kelly. Moving on out to number 4 position. We picked this man because he does a lot of Cayley dancing. But now he have made a promise that he'll give up the Cayley dancing. But he won't give up running Cayley dancing, he said. But he said he'd give up the Cayley dancing to hurl for Wheeling. And he's going to take over from Diarmuid Linehan. As you all know, I know some of you might know, but I know you do know, that, but I'll tell you at the same time, that Wheeling have an intermediate team and I can play junior hurling this year now, so this year, yeah. So this junior team will be taking over, and to take over Dermot Linian's position, and you know the way Dermot have played all the year, that was a tough job, but we have a man to do it, he said, in Connie O'Sullivan. I'll keep you here all night. The next man now we're moving on to is a bit of a character in himself, a great sportsman. And he's taking over from, I'll have to turn the page again. William Buckley. Now you all know what William Buckley have done for Wheeling. So this man said he'd give it his best shot anyway, that's all he could do. So we have, in the number 5 position, we have Willie Buckley. Am I right? You're allowed to make one mistake up here, that's it. The man to take over Willie Buckley's position is Damien Roach. Now moving on to the centre back position, a tough position now, I'm telling you. But we think that we have a man to do it. When we went around, there were several people now looking for this position. Amazing, like, but there was. And he's taking over, as you all know, from a man that held down that position. There weren't too many past him either. He's taking over from Kevin Collins, and the man that's taking over from Kevin Collins, you know him fairly well here in Wheeling, is Charlie Duggan. Now, there was a bit of a problem with Charlie, you see. Everyone have a problem, but Charlie, as you all know, sells a lot of tickets. But he have decided that he would cut down some bit in order to facilitate the training with the Wheeling team. So maybe he might be lucky, he mightn't be calling tea too often from now on. Now, we're going on to the number 7 position, and that's taking over Jerry Forrett's position. You know what the belts that Jerry took on, maybe the belts that he gave, but he stood his ground all through the year, and the man that's taking over is a man that we selected because of his great commitment to the people of Wheeling, and a great man to look after all the people that he have met, and a great communicator. And we thought that this would be an outstanding man to discipline this bunch of lads and keep them on the straight and narrow. And I'd call now on which we made captain of the team, Father Millstreet. I'm sure there'll be cameras out taking pictures. And I'm looking at him there now, there's no varicose veins or anything. Now we're moving on to centre field. Now centre field is always a hard position to fill. But we decided, and there was a good few for this too, but we decided that we go back to Lockchapel. Because the two centre field people, men from Lockchapel, have trudged work done, all for Wheeling team for the last couple of years, and they're still continuing to do it, and I'm in no doubt we'll do it next Sunday in Croke Park. So the ones we've decided to go centre field at number 8, taking over from Kevin Collins, is Dan Curtin. Now Dan is better known as a footballer, but he's a fair man on the come on as well. We had a challenge game with Knoxgeher there lately, and when we saw Dan swinging that hurley, and no Knoxgeher man going within 10 feet of him, we thought he'd be the right man to fill Kevin Collins' position. Now another Lockchapel man, a bit of a footballer as well in his day, like, but he can hurl as well, and that man is taking over from Willie Murphy. A tough job again to take over from Willie, and that man is Morris Daly. Now that man I was talking to the other day, you know, he's a very knowledgeable man about hurling. And he was agreeing away with the team, like, you know, not bad, like he said, fairly good. But he said, you know, he said, I might be wrong, he said, but I don't think that he picked the right two centre field men at all. He said, wouldn't you think, he said to me, you know, that they'd be more suitable to rugby? And you know, I look at him, you know, I think he was right. Was he right or wrong? I get lost in all this. Now, we're going on to number 10. A position well held and well done by John Forrest. And who we picked in that position, he's better known as a dart player, was Teddy Clifford from Rose. Now the centre forward position, you know, he was playing centre forward, and the raids he made and the goals, we thought we'd want someone with a good pair of legs that could turn and twist whatever way he liked. A man that if we met him at a party, a great man to dance over the bush. And that man, I'll have to look at his name now. But I know him well, like, but that's me making mistakes. Do you know the man that dances over the bush? Can anyone, even at any party that he was at, so? Jack Breen. maybe later on, when someone would play for him, he might do a demonstration of the bush. Number 12. Now, he's filling the position of Brendan O'Sullivan. Now, why I gave him that task was, you know what Brendan O'Sullivan did. I'm repeating myself all night, but at the same time, we have to praise the men that are there and that are going to Co.Cork on Sunday because they have the work done. And also, to pick the team now that we picked tonight, that these fellows are playing in their places, we just picked it out of a hat. A team, that mightn't be the team that started every day, but we just picked a team that had started one particular day. So there are subs there now, like, that have played and all that, but that's the way we did it anyway, to make it kind of fair. So Brendan O'Sullivan is going to be replaced by what we thought a man that's a tough man that has worked hard all his life, we thought, like, and there's a lot of his life left yet. Willie Joe Callahan. A team for the future. You know, I'd say I do better than any paper. Oh yeah, we'll turn it around. Now, who would you ask to fill the number 13 position? Is there anyone could tell me from the audience? Who? Mike Brussels, I said. Well, you know, he mightn't be far wrong, because even though we're bringing a boiling man hither from Kerry to replace the great forward Eamon Brosnan. This is a man now that was suspended for a few years. But now he's back in training again. He got into a few tangles with Paul Galvin. But he's here tonight, all the ways from Kerry, as I say. I forget the part of Kerry he's from, but he's a wheeling man. John Lehan. Now, centre forward. Full forward. We're gone from the centre, we're gone from the step, the man that danced over the bridge with a good bit. Full forward. Now, I think this man will nearly stay in his position. He won't be moving out the field like Jeremy Curtin at all, I'd say. But still in all, he's odds on with the bookies. When we just taught him that his name, and I'd say he'll just stay where he is, John Sheehan. He's fit already. Last but definitely not least, now when we were going around to the houses, we had an awful job to meet this man. But where did we meet him? But coming out of the meeting chapel after Mass. It was all right, that was grand. And you know, he was very reluctant in the start, because he said he was thinking of going to Amsterdam in his holidays. Because last year, I don't know, did he win a holiday or get a holiday? He was the trainer of the victorious Westies that won here in Meeting last year in whatever game they had, and they gave him some kind of a prize, and he was going to go to Amsterdam in holidays. But he decided against it anyway to finish, and now he's going to play number 15, Ted McConnell. Now, of course, any good team, they require a manager or a trainer. Are you listening? This is important. And to pick a trainer, we went for a man that have good work done here in the community and beyond. But we were also looking for a good runner. You need that if we were training a team. So we decided on a man that ran in a race some time back, and he won it in flying colours. And the man we picked for the trainer is Councillor Timmy Terry Collins. Now I might have a word or two with the trainer. Now, Timmy.
Sorry, Jim, if you don't mind me saying a few words before you start. It's just brilliant to look out there at that amount of people.
Oh, sure,
that's all I'm waiting tonight.
That's perfect, sure, that's.
And I'd like to thank everybody that came along and went to an effort to change here tonight as well.
Very good, yeah. No, I'll ask you a few questions if you don't mind. Timmy, thank you all for coming and all that, but that's very good. Now, Timmy, you had a few meetings with these teams and you were after playing a couple of challenge games, as I said there. What do you think about selection?
I think it's very good because I'll tell you one thing, that the first day we'll go up to the pitch and that group of people behind me talk out. There's going to be girls turning their heads. They have their pants on tonight. We'll let them on the dogs.
No, Timmy, I have another question to ask you, and I suppose like all, you're a trainer, manager, as you know. I suppose you won't answer the question straight, but I'm going to ask you anyway. There's rumours going around now. There's only rumours now at the moment, but I said, if one could ever ask Timmy, and we have you up here on the stage tonight, now did you take this bunch of players and put them on the scales below in Kentucky mapped? And collectively put them up on the weighing scale. This is the rumour that's going around. And that I promised you faithfully that by St. Patrick's Day, between him, the whole lot, that a 49 stone lost. Can you answer that question, yes or no?
Who told you that rumour in the first place?
He's a politician, all right. We'll get no answer. Well, thank you, Timmy, and I wish you luck with that team. Have more to say.
Before we finish, Jim, could I say a few words about my team?
You would, of course.
Like, they've showed themselves off here tonight, and I'll tell you one thing, that, like I said, the ladies will be turning their heads when we go up to the pitch. But there's another thing as well. Wheeling badly needed a junior A team, and not just Wheeling, but Duhala needed that extra junior A team. And I'm delighted that these guys are here behind me tonight to form that team. I'm a bit disappointed there's no girl there. But I'll tell you another thing, that we're going to change a few rules in the GAA. And one of those rules will be that, well, we're not going to change the rule at all because it's not an existing rule. But if any of my boys are in trouble, and if there's somebody running ahead with them, soloing with the ball and the hurley, we have an answer for that. Pull the togs down in Feverson. Now, as well, Ryan went to Rockchapel. Sorry, I had to go to County Limerick and a few other places. But what I'd say to you tonight, ladies and gentlemen, is wait to see us play. Wait to see us on the field. And we might just bring a cup back to Wheeling in 2011. That'll be 2 cups in 1 year if we'll bring a cup someday.
Thank you, Timmy. Whatever about bringing back the John Joe Cortland Cup, they'll definitely get that picture in the calendar. Now I have the subs, and I'll make no comment on the subs yet because we haven't an awful lot seen them, I tell you the truth. But we have Dennis McAuliffe, John Collins, Roundy, Pat Buckley, Ray Brosnan, and Pat Callahan. Kieran Linehan. Well, seeing the way that he walked in, you definitely want a physio for the team. But surprise, we thought we'd stay local. But no, nothing would do Ted Linehan and Dennis as well, but to look for the best physio they could get. So Ted went on the internet. And who do you think did he come up with but a woman from Poland? Now I'd say we'd want an interpreter for the rest of the night. I don't know how I'll pronounce this name, but I'll do my best. Our physio for 2011, and I hope that it will work like, is Sasha Sweetie. Well, Sasha, if I may call you that, is that all right?
That is perfect, yes, that's perfect, yes.
What made you come to Ireland to look after a team of hurlers in Wheeling?
Well, I just qualified as a physio in Poland, and I was looking for a job, and I felt these men needed a bit of rubbing.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
And I'd say you were right. And do you think that you'll be able to get these people in shape for in a few months' time?
Well, I arrived this week, and they have me working already, yes.
Oh, yeah. Well, I see a man after falling down there now. Could you give him...
We will, yes, I will sort him, yes, no problem, yes. He's okay, I'd imagine.
I think when they see a nice looking woman that they'll all want to rub anywhere. Do you find that in your travel?
Well, yes, with Irishmen, yes.
Oh, yeah. Sasha, thank you. Now, that's the wheeling team you'll be following for the coming year after Sunday. Thank you.
Could I say a few words, and I don't want to delay the show. I think that's brilliant for that Polish girl. She speaks great English. But there's a photographer here who wants to take a picture of my team before we finish. Thank you, Jim.
Oh, we're going out the same way we came in. Don't matter who you know or where you've been. Makes no difference who you are, Skid Row Joe or Superstar. You're going out the same way you came in. We are born into this world without a thing, and we leave it just as naked as we came. You may drive a Coupe de Ville, own a mansion on the hill. Don't mean nothing when St. Peter calls your name. Oh, you're going out the same way you came in. Someone will load a fire next to kin. Some will weep and some will moan, some will spit upon your stone. But you're going out the same way you came in. Oh, they'll lay you out in all your fancy clothes, then they'll figure out just who and what you own. Then the lawyers line their nest, and your kinfolk gets the rest, 'cause you can't take it with you when you go. Oh, you're going out the same way you came in. Makes no difference who you know or where you've been. Makes no difference who you are, Skid Row Joe or Superstar. You're going out the same way you came in. Oh, you're going out the same way you came in. Makes no difference who you know or where you've been. Makes no difference who you are, Skid Row Joe or Superstar. You're going out the same way you came in.